Hello and welcome everyone to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live rundown of the biggest and best events for Warhammer 40,000 happening all over the world. We're a little bit late today, so if you're watching us live, thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. Got Adam Camilleri with me
G'day.
and Dustin Henshaw.
Good eye.
Welcome everyone. Dorian, I see you there. Erwin, KR, never too old, hanging out in the chat. Again, sorry that we're a little bit late. But we're going to make this amazing. We have two great events, actually two in some
Five.
change.
Technically
Yeah.
5 events.
Events. We're going to be talking about the Leeds Super Major and then a 4-event conglomeration where we're looking at like a bucket of stats as we get ready for this weekend. For those of listeners in the States, it is the 4th of July weekend. So everybody, hope you enjoy it and can stay safe. Get some time with family and friends, or spend some time painting some models and hanging out with us. Let freedom ring. Sorry, you in Canada and Australia don't really have an appreciation for freedom, and I understand that.
Wow.
There's definitely no freedom anywhere else in the world apart from America. You're the single bastion of freedom in this globe.
We celebrated being Canada a couple days ago, so
Yeah.
that's what we get.
Of course, I'm kidding. I just wanted to, couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Oh, the Leeds Super Major from Leeds, England is 283 players in a 7-round event. What are we going to be seeing there?
For the Imperial Super faction, there are 1 Imperial Agent, 7 Sisters of Battle, 11 Custodes, 4 Admech, 6 Astral Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, and here it is, everybody. 18 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 20 Adeptus Astartes, 12 Dark Angels, 3 Space Wolves, 16 Blood Angels, 2 Black Templar, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 11 Chaos Space Marines, 7 T-Suns, 30 Death Guards still. They must believe in the anti-Imperial Knight there.
That is like 12-13% Death Guard.
It is.
That's a lot of Death Guard.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
17 World Leaders, 8 Emperor's Children, 11 Demons, and 15 Chaos Knights. So Knights just out in force in general. Xenos, there's 13 Necrons, 15 Orcs. That's interesting.
Very interesting.
7 Tau, 9 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 13 Tyranids too. Wow, this is wild. And 5 Gene Stealer Cult. Eldari, there's 5 Drukari and 9 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Death Guard at 30, and then the Cliff of Stank. The Cliff of Stank goes down to the Adeptus Astartes at 20, and then Imperial Knights at 18. World Leaders behind them with 17. Blood Angels there with 16, and then we have to give an honorable mention to Orcs at 15, getting the Nerf bat over and over and over, and still coming out to pretty much podium here with the Knight meta. Does that really surprise either of you guys?
Yes, it very much surprises me that Orc players have come out in force in this meta, which I see as extremely hostile to Orcs. And so I'm just super happy for Orc players if they've got agency here, and I'm wrong about my perspective on the meta forum. I'm all for it. I want to
Tank Busters.
Tank Busters, Breaker Boys, Beast Snagger Boys with Beast Bosses. They do have anti-tank options.
That's true.
None of those are like one-shot kills on big knights, unless my metrics are completely off, but they're close.
But they're cheap enough that you could throw 2 at them a turn and still have enough resources to do what you need to do with, right?
Like you can go Beast Boss, Breaker Boys, you'll get a cannon down. You can go Beast Boss, Tank Busters, and you'll smash a little knights pretty freaking well.
It's actually pretty reliable, to be honest.
Yeah, the problem is on the offense. So when the knights start pushing you and start picking up stuff before they activate, because every single one of your anti-tank options needs to activate into a knight for you to get through them. And if you don't, things start going poorly. I'd also like to say that this is people tooling up for big knights, like very much everyone's tooling up for big knights. Yeah. And little knights is totally fine, especially in Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights. Little knights are totally a thing, but everyone's just really excited to get their big boys on the table, and that is skewing the meta significantly. And then there's just 12% Death Guard out of 300 odd players. Oh, this is fine. This is fine, guys. Nothing wrong here. Crazy numbers.
They also shoot well into knights. Yeah.
They do everything well into everything.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of wild for cheaper. Well, they're cheaper custodies with better shooting, as far as I can tell. Like better synergies, cheaper custody chassis. Yeah, it's kind of bonkers. apart from the obvious like outlier that is Orcs being 15 representation, Tyrion is in great numbers. Necrons are a little on the lower side of things, and Guard once again continues to be just like compared to their numbers over the past calendar year, if not 2 years, their numbers are like destitute for their player base. There's more Sisters of Battle than there are Guard.
I was going to mention the Sisters, the Adeptus
Yeah.
Sororitas. Is that potential because they've also can pack a lot of Melta and head and anti-tank
You know
stuff
what?
in there?
I actually I rate
correct.
them pretty high as an anti-knight army for sure.
I wish I had time to go and see how many took Canis in their Sisters lists, because I genuinely think Canis plus Morven Vile and Paragons, and then you can just kind of just throw a dartboard for the rest of your freaking list, and it's gonna be strong. But yeah, Sisters have the great ability of the fact that they have, unlike Space Marines, where you have kind of well-priced, accurately priced anti-tank things, and then well-priced, similarly costed anti-infantry things, and then your utility units aren't actually that cheap. Sisters have the killer and the filler, so to speak. They have the extremely like high cost but super good anti-tank units, and then just cheap nonsense to throw at those objectives. And so they're sitting at a bit more of an extreme on those ones, and I think because of that, they get a little bit more value into some of these matchups, which I think is quite good for them. Custodes also on a little bit of a lower end, but they're due to take a break. The Adeptus Astartes are also in extremely good numbers. Between Vanilla Astartes with 12 Dark Angels and 16 Blood Angels, you are looking at, 48? Not even adding in the 6 others. So we're looking at 54 total Space Marines, which, it's almost, more than a sixth of the field, less than a fifth of the field.
Still not as much as Death Guard.
Percentile. No, none individually is more than Death Guard, of course. Yeah. 17 World Eaters is also a big fat number there for.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, very nice. But we do have 3 of the top 10 either in the ITC or in England in attendance at this event. I've broken down all 3 of their lists, and I'm going to run through these super fast breakneck speed because we started a little bit late. But first off the top, we have Josh Roberts, ranked number 1 in the ITC in England and in the world overall. He's playing his Adeptus Astartes Ultramarines Stormlance Task Force. And he is bucking the trend because this gentleman is still taking Gilliman and Calgar. Let's nerf them again, G-Dub. Why not? If the number 1 player in the world still thinks it's good enough, probably nerf it again. Lieutenant with Combi Weapon and Uriel Ventress for his characters. 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts, a unit of Company Heroes, 3 Eradicators, 5 Scouts, 5 Stern Guard, 3 Storm Speeder Hammer Strikes, and the Storm Raven.
Interesting.
You could see how tilted this is for anti-tank.
Hammer Strike plus 1 to wound, right?
No, that's the Thunderstrike. Hammer Strike is the plus AP, but it's the one that packs them. It's the one that packs the melters.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah,
I thought the AP was the. Well, look, there's 3 of them.
We're
circling around.
We just don't know which one is which.
Yeah. One's Ignores Cover. I know the Thunderstrike is the one. The Hammer Strike is the Ignores Cover.
Yeah, the AP.
It's the same thing as the plus AP. Like,
kind of.
It's the same thing.
You just come around it. You go around. One's coming around this way, the other's going around this way.
Yeah, but you can see how heavily, the number 1 player in the world has tilted their list for mech, for knights, for thickness. Everything here slaps down on the thickness, and it's nice that he's got a couple little packages that go in either in the Storm Raven or in reserve. Like you can chuck the Eradicators in there if you want, and just try and jump them out of the Storm Raven in melter range. If the Storm Ravens are going to try and get aggressive and get up there, otherwise it's probably going to do strafing runs off the back line. Strafing runs off the back line. And then, of course, you can have the Company Heroes with Calgar as your anti-assault piece. And then it's interesting what he deep strikes with Ventress, because it can be the Eradicators, it can be the Stern Guard. You wouldn't do the Scouts, but it can be the Company Heroes as well. So there's a couple of good options here for Ventress as well, which is an interesting take in this. And I think that's his little X Factor piece, like the thing that you wouldn't normally see.
Not necessarily a new technique, but maybe new now. People have forgotten about it enough. Also, want to point out the Lieutenant with Combi Weapon has just about all the rules. Like,
yes,
all the rules on 1 data slate.
Yeah, not much damage, but all the rules: stealth, infiltrate, a reactive move built in, feel no pain,
lone operative, 5 plus feel no pain. I'd like to talk about this on another show where we just break down like who's that Pokemon, and go down the list.
Dude, that's a great segment. That's a great segment.
but also the reroll ones to wound on the primary on the target objective. This thing gets nominate an objective, and so all of these units go, supercharged essentially in that capacity. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's write that down in the Fuego notes. Somebody, who am I? Like, I'm an infantry character. I cost this many points. I mean, I have this armor save, and we just keep going. And the sooner you answer the question and get it right, the more points you get. We should do that for a Fuego sometime.
Nice.
All right, next up we have one of the Orc players, Ben Jones, ranked 2 in the ITC in the UK. He's playing Orcs. He's playing Warhorde. Kicks it off with Gazkul Maguk something Thraka, 2 beast bosses, 3 war bosses, 2x10 beast snagger boys, 4 trucks, 3x6 breaker boys, and each one of those you just know is getting a war boss. 2x5 flash gits, 2x10 Gretchen, 5 looters, 2 mega knobs, 2 bodyguard Gaz, and 2x5 storm boys for the utility. Now,
tank busters.
Yeah, no tank busters.
He's no mech guns that somebody gave a suggestion for also.
Trying to do it all with the punches, as it looks like. And I do agree with that for Orcs, because I think the Orc shooting can get a bit wonky. I mean, especially so
unreliable.
Well, it's even more unreliable against things like Chaos Knights, who get to pick darkness on turn 1.
Right.
And then their whole army just has stealth on turn 1, and then, well, whatever detachment you took for Orcs is kind of neutered. You're back hitting on 6s if you're trying to play the shooting stuff. So I think there is a bit of a downside there to playing into the Chaos Knights matchup. But he has tooled and been like, your OC is less now, so I'm just going to play to punch you, and either I kill you or you're almost dead and your OC is halved. So I'm flipping the objectives on you regardless. And I think this is probably where you want to be as an Orc player. I think this is pretty dang good. The 2 beast bosses plus beast snagger boys account for little knights, and then the war bosses plus the breaker boys go for the big knights.
I can't remember. Can Gaz and 2 mega knobs go in a truck?
Not in a truck.
No,
I don't believe. Yeah, not in a truck. I believe forgive me if I'm wrong. Some Orc player might correct me, but I believe they can go in a battle wagon.
I think that's what I couldn't remember if they fit. If just the 2 of them fit in a truck, or if it still had to be a battle wagon.
I think Gaz counts as 10 guys, and the mega knobs are 3.
20, doesn't he? Or was that?
Yeah, and the mega knobs are like 3 each. So I think only the 30 capacity, if that still is a thing. I might be thinking of last edition.
I might be thinking of last edition too.
But that is Ben Jones's Warhorde.
He's still on the punch plan. You're exactly right. Just all punching all the time.
He is. He hasn't taken a single gun. I mean, he's taken tunes of flash kits and looters, and that's just screen clear so that the punches connect. So if somebody's screening their big knights with a unit of battle sisters or breaches or whatever, you can just shoot them dead. Lastly, for our list unpacks is Andy Quaz-Cohen, ranked 5th in the ITC in the UK, playing his Necrons, and he is a Necron faction specialist. He's like the Scary of Necrons, essentially. He's playing Star Shatter Arsenal. He has Imatech and the Silent King. Silent King, absolutely still the mainstay in Star Shatter.
Catacomb now, though.
Catacomb Command Barge with Dread Majesty. 3 Scorpec Lords, still one of them taking the Chronos Impedance field, even though they went up in points dramatically. 5 Flayed Ones, a single unit of 3 Ophidians, 2 single Locust Destroyers, and that's his 4 units for utility. A single Canoptic Spider, 3 Doomsday Arcs, and a Triarch Stalker to give you some Ignores cover. And I like this a lot. I love the 3 solo Scorpec Lords. When I was reading this out, I was like, I wonder if he's going to have Scorpecs, like Miniscores or Scorpecs, to go with him. No, he's got 3 solo Scorpec Lords, which I think is pretty freaking spicy.
How many points are they? They are actually fairly cheap for characters, aren't they?
They just went up. I believe they just went up is it 10 points? They used to be 90, if I correct, or they're 90 now. But yeah, they were under. Yeah, they're 90 now. Yeah, they were like 80 points previously, and they are
pretty good.
Dude, they are really good. That's a toughness 7 wound, 3 up, 4 up chassis that slams in combat. Like that actually just kind of smashes in combat. Does charge mortals, 4 attacks at 10-3-3 or 8 attacks at 6-1-1. Like they are really good value. So yeah, that is the listies. That's the 3 top ranked players in attendance. Now, how do you who wins out of these 3? If these 3 are all playing each other, who's got the edge?
Ooh.
I mean, it's hard not to want to, pick the oath the moment with 100 different ways to capitalize on it.
Well, the thing is, so there is a lot. There is Andy and the Necrons have a huge amount of guns, but Josh has a huge amount of guns, and Josh is a fast guns. They're on storm speeders and a flyer. So Josh's gun goes more faster. Josh's guns probably aren't as good as DDA's in the Silent King as shooting profile versus shooting profile, but Josh's guns will shoot Andy's before Andy's shoot Josh's, and that's the way I see it unfolding. And then it's pretty much if Ben goes first against any of these guys with the Orcs. Yeah. Otherwise, he's in a rough game if he goes second against either of these lads. So it's an interesting thing, and you got to assume one of these boys is probably taking the thing or hitting that podium.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So time to pick some winners.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
it's a brand new month, so we have to randomize.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, we actually do predict who we think will win the event. Then in an after show, the follow-up show that's available to Tier 2 Patreon subscribers and above, we run down the results of the events that we cover and see how well our predictions were, and we score points based on how accurate we were.
And we're tracking the month-by-month points. We missed a month somewhere in there, but as far as the 6 months that have gone, one person has won 3 of those months, and the other 2 have won 1 each. So there is so we're only halfway through though, baby. We're only halfway through this year. All right, Dusty, you got the call. You want the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6?
I want the 5 and 6.
You want the 5 and 6? Let's do this legit.
Oh, there we go. I can see it now.
Well, we didn't decide if me or Paul was.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I was curious to what you were rolling for.
All right, Paul. All right, 4 plus. It's me that won. Paul. 1, 2, 3. I won. I'm going first.
All right.
I'm picking the Astartes. I'm picking Josh.
Yeah, you are.
We're off to the races, gents. That was fun. All right. Adam picking Adeptus Astartes.
Oh, I get to pick now?
Yeah.
Then you get to pick, Paul.
Death Guard. Come on, 30 generals. Somebody come out.
That is interesting. That is an interesting choice because none of the top 3 ranked guys or no one in the top 10 is taking Death Guard. But with 30 in the pool, like holy crap, one of them's got to smash a podium.
Get on the place, get in somewhere, slide into home plate.
Dusty boy, what would you like?
You know what? I'm gonna back the Orcs. Because
I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it. You love to snowflake. You love it.
Snowflake.
It's your favorite thing. Hence he plays GSC.
That's right. I'm a snowflake, right? There's only one of me. I'm just at all the events myself. But there's 5 people, which is great. I love seeing that.
It's secretly you in different hats. Which is essentially what all the characters are in Gene Stealer Cults. They're just the same dude with a different hat.
KR
just had that hat or no hat.
We should have gone Imperial Knights. I bet Wolf Priest Carl in the chat probably was picking Space Wolves for this, but we'll see what the outcome is on our after show. The next series of rundowns we're going to do is like a conglomeration of events. Going to be talking about the Durang Doom 3, Geelong Town Open, the Leighton Gaming, Copenhagen Chainsword GT from Ireland. What? Oh, you just list. I was like, what is that? That can't be. You wrote these all down.
In Ireland.
Wow,
I know. Ireland's hot with right now.
These are all from Ireland, Australia, Denmark, and the US.
Respectively in order. Yeah, sorry. I did these notes pretty freaking fast, like 5 minutes ago. I was copy pasting this into the PowerPoint for you all, so I must have missed a line there. Apologies.
Copenhagen, Ireland. I mean, look, there's a Dublin in Georgia. I mean,
there's an everything in Georgia.
Yeah,
it's probably Salem as well. There's another Salem in there.
Has to be.
That's got to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we're going to be running down a collection of these stats. Combined 185 players in a bunch of 5-round events. What are we going to see there?
Well, let's see what the worldwide meta is looking like right now. So the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 10 Custodes, 2 Admech, 11 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 17 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 5 Adeptus Astartes, 7 Dark Angels, 3 Space Wolves, and 7 Blood Angels. Chaos, there's 6 Chaos Space Marines, 6 T-Suns, 21 Death Guards still, 11 World Leaders, 5 Emperor's Children, 8 Demons, and 8 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 6 Necrons, 7 Orcs, 5 Tau, 5 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids and 2 Gene Stealer Cult. Eldari, there's 3 Drukhari and 14 Eldari. There's actually been quite a few Drukhari showing up lately, in terms of what they normally show anyway. Meaning the faction podium for these events is Death Guard topping off at 21 with no real surprise. Imperial Knights right behind them at 17. Eldari in 3rd with 14, though.
Yeah, really? The Eldari numbers are very surprising. And I nearly unheralded, but maybe this has been like maybe they just had that month off, where they're like, Yannari took a hit. Let's reevaluate, test some stuff, and now they're back
Like,
with all that testing and
Knights are
ready to
here.
have another
Okay,
crack.
now we know what we're doing.
Had to build the spirit host,
Yeah.
like this.
Had to buy all those jet bikes. I was a huge proponent of the jet bikes, saying that everybody windmill slam those jet bikes into your list. And then Knights came out, and I'm like,
Maybe not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Right,
mean,
right.
you'll smash the little knights to bits. You'll absolutely kill every little knight. But then you play against Lords of Dread, and you're like, oh, yeah. But yeah, so what is interesting is how these numbers correlate to the Leeds.
One Votan per tournament.
Correct. But this has about 100 less players than Leeds in these 4 total events combined. And you would assume with another 100 players, the Death Guard numbers would be about the same, because there's 21 here out of 185. So there's about, as a give or take, there's about 9 per 100 players, give or take. So yeah, if there was another 100 players here, you would assume that'd be about 30. So kind of the international meta is looking very representative of what's happening in the international meta. And same with the night numbers are pretty high as well, and quite correlative. The Astartes numbers though are all buck wild. Where, and I'm talking to you, Wolf Priest Kyle, where is your route? Where are they? Why aren't the Spaceful players showing up? The book's sick. Where are they?
I don't think it came out until yesterday.
It was last week. Wait, sorry, I thought it came out last weekend, or was it pre-order last weekend? It's coming out this week.
So the collector's edition or whatever, the starter set came out or went up for pre-order a couple weeks ago, and I think finally the actual book came out for pre-order last week. Right? Am I getting that right? The weeks sometimes blend together, but I think
I assume you're more correct than me, mate. I just fly from the hip.
I trust both of you.
Where are they?
Where
are they?
There you go. Not legal
so
until
yeah,
next Saturday. That's what cares.
There you go. That explains everything. But still, where are they? It's your fault.
Yeah,
it's painting.
It's your fault.
They're getting everything ready.
What do you think Eldari has going for it into this meta? Like, I mean, I know we got Erwin Jackson here. He's a great friend of mine, and he's playing Eldari this weekend. Are you playing your Eldari this weekend at the Geelong event?
What? Where's the Blood Angels?
Yeah, there's still plenty of Blood Angels, brother.
Oh, there's 7 of them.
Is
I mean, that's quite a few.
No, I mean, where's Erwin's Blood Angels?
Oh, where's
no, yeah. He's also a Blood Angels player. But yeah, internationally, the Astartes numbers are like destitute comparatively to the UK. So what have we got? We got 12. We got 22 total Astartes versus 56 over in Leeds. So freaking doubling and then some. So 150% more just at one event in England. Versus 4 events all over the world, with all having around about 40 plus players. So yeah, pretty interesting there. But I have done one breakdown for you. This is the Imperial Knights, all 17 lists compiled, every unit tracked, every single thing. And that does sound like I did a lot of work, but it's Knights, so I actually didn't. It was fine. It was very easy. It was like,
five models per list.
That's right. And that breakdown reads as thus. This is 17 total lists. 2 of them didn't take Canis Rex.
What?
2 of them didn't take Canis. So there's 15 Canis.
They don't own it.
Yeah, they don't own a Canis.
There
15 of them in out of 17 possibilities. Then we have 10 Cerastus Knight Atroposes, 9 Lancers, 6 Crusaders, 4 Castellans, 4 Gallants, 3 Paladins, 3 Wardens, 2 Errants, and 1 absolute mad lad taking a Valiant. Good for you, mate. Then on the Small Knight side, we have 43 Armiger Warglaves, 31 Helverins, and a single mad lad taking a Moirax.
What's single Moirax?
Single Moirax. So what is that? So what's 43 divided by 17? If anybody's got quick math.
43 divided by 17 is
2.6.
Wow.
Yes, 2.52 to be exact.
Oh, you're wrong, Paul.
No, this is way closer than I was going to. Way closer than I was going to get. So that's the average Warglaive per army, technically, and then the Helverins is even less than that. So the Armiger, so the Warglaive is and does appear to be the Armiger of choice, and then 31 Helverins. Over on the Allies side, we've got 6 Immolators, 5 Calidus Assassins, 3 Navigators, 3 units of 10 Battle Sisters, 2 units of 6 Inquisitorial Agents, a single Colexus, a single Priest, and a single unit of Subductors. Now, what is interesting is that these the armature breakdowns are pretty skewed, because there was a bunch of lists taking like a single Helverin and then 6 Warglaves, and then a bunch of armies taking like 4 Helverins, 1 Warglaive, and then taking the Immolators, because of course the Helverins need that ignore cover to make that AP1, offensive profile with their autocannons really shine. And so it's interesting that we're seeing a bit of a split in the Allies matrices. So people who were taking the Warglaives were more often than not taking the Calidus, and then people who were taking the massed Helverins more often than not were taking the Sisters and the Immolators. So it seems to be a little bit of a separation of the Allies packages, which does make sense to me. And I wonder if that's a meta influence, like if they're saying like I need more damage 3. I need the damage 3 shooting to get through XYZ meta, or I'm planning into a much more of a trading meta. I need more Warglaives to push onto objectives and get the trading game going. So yeah, but do any of the big boy selections stand out to you?
I got a buddy taking 2 Atroposes and a Canis. I mean, like that's
yeah.
So the Atroposes being high up there in the stack, I would have to imagine some of those lists are rocking 2, and that's
They are. Yeah, there's quite a few rocking double Atropos. The Atropos right now is, in many people's estimations, in both Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights, the best, most well-rounded of the knights. Like it has 2 quality guns of shooting and it has good combat, whereas so many of the other knights have mediocre shooting, good combat, or okay shooting, no combat. Let's see this in the case of like the Crusader, the Castellan, and a couple of the Chaos Knights. They shoot but they don't fight. The Atropos shoots good, fights good. It's the one that hits, and so it moves above average. It moves 14 inches, boys. It's the fastest as well, and it has the perma 5-up invulnerable save, and it just kind of is outclassing so many of the other knights point for point right now, because it's what 20 points more than 10 points more than some of the like one gun fist variants.
Oh yeah.
And like, you get the invulnerable time, you get the extra speed, you get more wounds, and your guns are still great. Your fighting is still great. So
and all the time, you mean in combat and shooting?
Correct.
Most knights are just shooting.
Canis is the same metrics. Canis has like one incredible gun that can kill anything it targets, and he has combat that'll kill anything it touches. The Atropos is like the next best thing to Canis, but you can take more of them because you can only have one Canis. So the Atropos right now is the one that's getting the most attention outside of Mr. Rexy.
I'm actually a big fan of taking multiple Lancers because the 4-up invul and they're already aggressive. It really puts your opponent on the back foot.
The issue is the meta is it's really dependent on what you're fighting against, because unfortunately I played the Lancer myself quite a few times, and yeah, sure, if he hits a Rogal Dawn, you freaking you drop kick that guy into the sun, it's dead. But then you charge 3 Death Shroud and you kill 1 because the invulns.
You don't have to kill him though, because as long as you just survive. The big thing with the Lancers that I find is because it's so swingy. I'm big on the anti-math. Anything that you cannot reliably kill in a single turn, no matter how much you focus on it. That's why I love Norn so much when they're on their objective. Mathematically, they are the most unreliable thing to kill. And I like things like that because it really throws your opponent off. And it's risky because you could just die. You could.
Yep.
But they also can fire their entire army into it and do 0 damage.
Correct. I call it the fog. The fog of You just fog. If anybody's played Magic the Gathering, you slap down your fog, it means you can't take any damage that turn. And so essentially, you throw a Lancer and you like a bowling ball at your opponent, and they fog their whole turn just trying to kill this Lancer and failing, and you're like, game, set, match, checkmate. Wow. Let's go.
You played Magic a long time ago, my friend, didn't you?
Oh, baby. I still have some fogs. They're in the cupboard. They're right over there.
I have an old, like a 2nd edition green deck. So, I mean...
2nd edition.
Prevent all combat damage this turn.
Yes. You fog their turn. But yeah, that is the Imperial Knights break it down. Now, like we did with the previous event where we did this conglomeration, we get 1 pick, but we're only picking first place. But if you do get it, you get it. You get the points.
Okay.
Dustin. So who picked last? Dustin. No. Yeah, Dustin, you picked last. You pick first, mate.
Imperial Knights.
Boring.
Hey, I did the exciting one last time.
Paul, you did. You snowflaked out last one. This isn't a time for. Actually, you got 4 chances to win points, so this is a time for the snowflake as well. What would you like, Paul?
So wait, Dustin, you picked Imperial Knights?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is tough. This is tough with only the first place. Well, let's go with Astartes.
I'm gonna. Is Death Guard gonna win one of these? The problem is, I did all the analysis, and so I know that the USA event is in Florida, and there's like 4 of the Art of War boys going. I know the entire meta of the Geelong Australian event. I'm gonna back one player in particular and go Empress Children.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Solid.
It was like, do I pick Siegler, who's playing Admech? Do I pick Harpster, who's playing Eldari? Or do I pick my boy, Reese Cunningham, who's playing Empress Children in Geelong? And I'm going for Reese. I'm picking the Australian.
Nice. All right, that is the 40K portion of this show. If you've made it this far, you probably like it. So make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. That helps us out. That what kind of fools the algorithms into showing this to other people, so other people come and hang out and do this. We're about to do a segment that we call the Fuego Rapido, which is a silly segment that sometimes has very little to do with Warhammer 40,000, sometimes nothing to do with Warhammer 40,000. We give ourselves a topic. We exhaust that topic over the top. Anyway, let's get to it.
Platformers. Right. Okay.
We got to do the platforms this time. So we are in the middle of getting all of the games, the video games, the best of all time, into their own category because we need to find out the best one.
All right. So Super Mario Brothers, Castlevania,
okay, well,
Metroid.
Metroid's not a platformer, is it?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Okay. Just
original Metroid, even all the way up to Super Metroid.
Do you want to do Super Metroid? Is that? I think Super Metroid.
Super Metroid is almost like a reskin of Metroid, and is categorically thought of as the best Metroid.
Yeah.
But original Metroid has the place in my heart.
Okay, well, we got to go with we'll just put Metroid. I think that's fair in that one. Are we just saying Super Mario Brothers in general?
Just I'd say one Super Mario. I mean, I was thinking about specifically Super Mario Bros. 1.
Whoa.
I think you go the OG.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Castlevania is amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mega Man.
Yes, absolutely.
I will fight.
Which one? Which one?
2.
Yeah, it's 2. You're correct. Good. Well done.
Two is good. 2 is probably better, but still, the 1 is.
Yeah. well, I think a lot of these were just actually going with the whole genre because Metroid, Super Mario Bros., Castlevania, Mega Man, they all have so many games.
Well, I'm about to say Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's either Sonic 2 or it's Sonic and Knuckles, and I'm going to go with Sonic 2.
I think Sonic 2 is the one.
Yeah, it lets your little brother hold the controller and feel like they were important.
You have fond memories of that.
That was me. I held the controller and tried to feel important.
And Tails couldn't die, couldn't interact with the game.
Yeah. But I had to fly him out in that one in the second last scenario. It was all on me, baby. It's time to shine. And guess what my brother did? Slapped that controller out of my hand, did it himself. Yeah. That was my childhood.
Donkey Kong Country?
Yes, Donkey Kong Country has to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know which one though.
I think the first one.
Yeah, it was good. I still have the song stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, I still listen to that. That's in my playlist. My work playlist.
Did you boys ever like either Crash Bandicoot or Ratchet and Crank?
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot for sure is. But that was that a platform? I thought that was where you were going straight.
It's a 3D platformer, right? Yeah,
it's still a platformer. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think they're the same. They're the same game, essentially. So that's why I put them together because I don't know if we need both.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else, because I thought it was one where you're basically just kind of going up the screen.
You're talking about like ice climbers kind of thing going up the screen, eh?
Well, you're walking almost in like where the camera's behind you, going up the screen.
It's still a platform because you're still platforming. It's just different, like 3D, right? Exactly. It's like Mario 64. It's still a platform even though you're behind them. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I wouldn't call Mario 64 a platformer.
See, okay, so it is. What would you consider Mario 64?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Yeah, if it's not, what is it?
If it's not a
because
platform,
it's 3D, like you get to go all around.
But it's still a platform. Yeah, because you're still going from platforms, though. What? You don't think so?
I mean,
interesting. Think on that and come back to us for another.
While we're discussing it, just put Earthworm Jim there.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim.
Oh yeah.
Get
Oh, yeah.
Earthworm Jim.
I was trying to
man.
think of that because I've got the character like emblazoned in my mind.
That is the platformer, I believe, with possibly the best soundtrack
Oh yeah, for
of
sure.
any platformer.
When
Sonic the
we're talking about
Hedgehog.
platformer as a genre, care. Like talk about like the Super Mario Brothers when you're literally jumping on platforms to get through the game.
Yeah. One of the ones that I played very recently, and by recently I mean the last 10 years, is Hollow Knight, which is amazing.
Oh yeah,
People always want to check it
Hollow
out.
Knight was pretty good.
It was very good.
Do you know that one, Paul?
I don't know that I do.
Look it up. You'll love it.
Right.
It's beautiful.
If you like platformers, you will like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't have Queen or Win
Though
though. Like it would fit. It would fit. All right.
Okay. You guys won't know what this.
Oh, okay.
You guys won't know what this one is, but Boogerman.
I know that one.
You do? You know Boogerman?
Of course, I know Boogerman.
Yes,
we're like the
get
same
it in
age,
there.
Adam.
I thought you were a Nintendo boy. It's a Sega game.
I had both.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a tweener.
I did not have both.
I wasn't a tweener.
Little-
My parents got divorced, so I had a Super Nintendo at my dad's and a Sega at my mom's, so I got to play both.
Oh, that old story.
Spoilt,
Yeah.
but no, that's fair enough.
True. I'm not gonna deny that. Kirby.
Kirby has to count, right?
I think so.
Kirby is like one of those. It's become, I'd almost say like a meme, but it's certainly become things that like is referenced in pop culture. It's like has made an impression.
Speaking of,
all right, Alex the Kid.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the originals.
I don't know that.
Very old.
Yeah, I have other ones that I want to name on there, but you guys won't know them, so there's no point.
Throw them out. We'll see.
Gunstar Heroes, because you're a Sega guy.
No, definitely didn't.
Well, if we want to go say Altered Beast.
Ooh.
Get it in there.
Ooh, yeah.
Rise from your grave. I send gifs of that when I wake up in the morning to my mates. Yeah, Altered Beast. Oh yeah, so good.
And then I guess in that same vein, like Double Dragon, does that count as
or like Streets of Rage? Are those platformers?
Yeah. So
fighting games.
They're basically the same game, right?
Yeah. So those are like in the fighting, but they're not in the fighting genre because the fighting genre is like Street Fighter. So when we do the fighting genre, are we going to include things like Street Fighter and then Streets of Rage? Will we put those together? Does that make sense?
I wouldn't. You're not doing fighting games. I think you're doing combos. Like you gotta like be doing and that's just punch and kick.
You're not platforming per se in them either, though. What would they be though if they don't? I'm fine with putting them in this category because there's not gonna be too many we're gonna put in because they're pretty.
I guess.
Right?
So are we gonna? Does this category encompass side scrollers? If it does, then like the
Contra.
Gauntlet, Contra, and X-Men are in this.
And Golden Axe and
okay.
Oh, Ghosts and Goblins.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Ghosts and Goblins for
yes,
sure.
Yes. Ghosts and Goblins 100% is a platformer.
Yes, for sure. One of the ones
I think those are. Let's just say those are. But the problem is though, they're going to go up against Mario, Sonic, and shit, and I'm going to get knocked out. It's not going to feel good.
A good X-Men game is a good X-Men game. You know, it's
yeah.
And Gauntlet. I mean, if we include Gauntlet in this, that'd be another high contender for me.
I mean, Mega Man is essentially the same premise as like Double Dragon and stuff, right? You're a guy who's fighting their way from left to right.
You are platforming specifically Mega Man, though.
Platforming. It has to be. I think it has to be, though. So, like a Streets of Rage, you walk off, you beat the bad guy, and then you walk off to the right of screen and you respawn and you start going right again. But it's the same premise as Mega Man and Sonic and
Contra does need to be in this too.
Yeah.
Contra, yeah.
Ghosts and Goblins, Contra. Do we put Golden Axe in here too? Is that?
Look, I spent a lot of dollars on Golden Axe.
Well, it's got to go somewhere. It doesn't go here.
Yeah.
Or is that? Oh, we have an arcade category. That can go in the
arcade. Never mind then. That's where Golden Axe and Double Dragon are going. Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
That's fair. That's fair.
If we have an arcade, we have an arcade, then we can like Gauntlet, things like that.
Gauntlet's in the arcade category for sure. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at right now then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 more.
There was a Star Wars game that I'm spacing on the name. It's like Star Wars, Super Star Wars, or something.
Super Star Wars and Super Nintendo. Yeah, that's a platformer for sure.
Yeah, one of the most horrific platformers of all time.
But you want to put it in here?
Yes, because so many hours were spent trying to get up that
I see.
the Jawa vehicle,
Mega Man is already in here, Dorian. I would definitely not miss that. I'm not putting Echo in here. I'm not putting Echo the Dolphin in this.
Is Battletoads a platformer?
Unfortunately, yes, because you are platforming at stupid times.
Yeah. Put Battletoads in there.
Yeah.
Nothing gave me a freaking aneurysm at a young age like Battletoads did.
I don't know
multiplayer
anyone
game ever. But
I don't know anyone that's beaten that game. I don't know
Me
anyone.
either. I don't know anybody who's beaten. Like the level in question I'm talking about
Level 3.
broke people, like broke children, their souls and their wallets.
If you've beaten Battletoads, comment down below.
Yes, please. I would like to celebrate you. Akin to reading Moby Dick back to front, conquering Battletoads is a worthy distinction. You guys ever play Three Dwarves?
Three Dwarves? You mean Lost Vikings?
That one.
Absolutely.
Me and my brothers
that sounds a little more familiar.
Yeah, Lost Vikings is what it's called, but me and my brothers it's called the Three Dwarves for some reason.
Lost Vikings, I'd absolutely put here. Earthworm Jim is on here, Tanya. We got that one, don't you?
Hell yeah.
We got that.
Yes, Tanya.
That was like very early on. We got that.
Yeah. It must be.
We got you. We're already at 16 with Battletoads. Are we gonna put that one in there? Are we gonna leave it for?
Well, we won 16, right?
Yeah,
for
16.
which one? Oh, then we're good then.
I think.
Yeah, we're good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. So I'll go over them and make sure. So chat, call us if there's any that need to be replaced in here with something that you have, or just I'll write down for another category too. Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, Castlevania, Mega Man, Sonic, Donkey Kong Country, Crash Bandicoot, Earthworm Jim, Booger Man.
Yes.
That one could go, but it's great.
No, it can't.
Kirby, Alex the Kid, Altered Beast, Ghosts and Goblins, Contra, Superstar Wars. That one could go too. Battletoads.
We have a shout out for Echo the Dolphin.
No, absolutely not.
Another one that also almost gave me a freaking aneurysm.
I mean, we could, but I don't know what it would place in here because it's not getting past the first round.
How the bracket works out, you never know.
Yeah. Are there any ones there are legitimately two we could replace there. Hand on my heart, most of the ones we've got on are long-standing, like beloved franchises, and then we have Booger Man.
Yeah,
and
I mean, let's be real. We have the contenders to win that are in there already. I don't think we're missing any of the contenders.
We're not missing any of the big names.
Yeah, so I think we're good.
You had Hollow Knight in there, yeah?
I didn't. No.
Check out Booger Man. Check in Hollow Knight.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Hollow Knight is the best platformer I've seen come out in like the last 20 years.
Did you play Shovel Knight?
Was that the predecessor?
No, but it played a lot more like Mega Man.
Oh no, I haven't.
Shovel Knight's a good game, and it even became a board game.
It became a board game, eh? I have a Mega Man board game too. I like it because it's Mega Man, but as a board game, it's just There's one you forget for computer. Dorian, if you're thinking of Bubble Bobble, you and I are kindred spirits because I was just thinking of that one actually. But Bubble Bobble was something that is near and dear to my heart. Doesn't stand a chance in this tree, but it's.
Yeah, we already know there's a bunch of you that don't stand a chance.
Blackthorn. Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Which one was Ghosts and Goblins?
What do you mean? Which one was?
You are a dude in a knight armor, and
yes.
You're walking through.
You know that game, right, Adam? Like
I do. I played the crap out of that game, and it's one of the hardest.
You played it once.
One of the hardest games I've ever played.
You basically only had 2 lives.
Ninja Gaiden in here. Ninja Gaiden needs to go in here, guys.
Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
What do we replace though?
Which is the one that Paul said that? So you replaced the silly one that I liked in Booger Man.
Superstar Wars, I don't think has a chance.
Yeah, let's drop that and chuck Ninja in.
Do you think so, Paul?
I mean,
okay, I'll go through these again. You tell me which one of these can get replaced. Right. I'm not going to say the first couple because those cannot get replaced. Let's go to those when they could. Earthworm Jim, no. Hollow Knight, Kirby, Alex the Kid, Altered Beast, Ghosts and Goblins, Contra, Superstar Wars, and Battletoads.
Yeah, get Alex the Kid out of there.
Oi, I'd rather you replace Battletoads if you're going to replace one of them.
No. We can get rid of Super Star Wars. It's fine. Although it's up there.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. So
look, Alex the Key was actually a very long-standing franchise. So,
I can't.
And you had to rock, dude. You had to rock off. You had to rock off for the win. How good's that? It's like the video game interpretation of the 4+.
I'm glad you mentioned Ninja Gaiden. That was one of those ones that it was so cool when you went to the when you went to the throw in the stars mode or whatever.
I love those. I can't.
You can totally get rid of Battletoads, by the way.
Well, do we have one replaced?
I don't know, because it's something that everyone has. It really does have a legacy.
It's arguably one that goes in the same categories as Streets of Rage and those games too, though. So we could.
Was it an arcade game though? I know
it wasn't an arcade game.
It was okay.
No, it was not. It was not an arcade.
It was not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember it being an arcade game.
Prince of Persia?
I don't even know what that
is Prince of Persia a platformer?
Oh yeah,
it is. You're doing lots of jumping and sliding under.
Yeah,
absolutely is.
Yeah,
Battletoads, get out of there. Prince of Persia.
Persia.
It's more iconic than Battletoads.
Oh yeah.
And Battletoads, literally, I still have migraines, so I haven't recovered fully.
I have migraines.
That legacy is what might put it deep in the stack.
How much pain and anguish did it cause?
How much do you want to?
Because I worked at EB Games. All right, I don't know if you know that whole meme that went around for a long time. When I was younger, I worked at EB Games, and there was this huge meme going around, which people would call in to an EB Games and ask for Battletoads, long after it existed.
Wait, so it has a pop culture.
It has a pop culture
legacy.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, it could be in here.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how far it's going to get, but
no, if it has
we're ending it. We're ending the meme right now. It's off. It's gone. No Battletoads.
Okay, stricken from the record.
Stricken from the record. We good with this list then?
Yeah, let's do it.
We can always add to it the last category.
Yeah, in post.
Ones later,
yeah.
But we got
Battletoads will sneak in at the end, and we have to.
It'll sneak in somewhere.
The bracket breaker.
Yeah,
the bracket breaker.
It breaks brackets and souls. Yeah.
All right, so that'll be Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, Castlevania, Mega Man, Sonic, Donkey Kong Country, Crash Bandicoot, Earthworm Jim, Hollow Knight, Kirby, Alex the Kid, Altered Beast, Ghosts and Goblins, Contra, Ninja Gaiden, and Prince of Persia.
I like this list. Yeah.
All right.
And you can tell our vintage and age, boys, because if
you haven't figured out our age by now,
we starting from early 80s to about mid 90s, and then
it was our heyday of sitting in front of the TV with the console plugged in.
Never needed to worry about updates. You just put it in the cartridge. Maybe you have to blow it a little bit. And just turn
what a world!
What a world!
You bought a game and you owned the game.
Yeah,
you just played and then just played the game.
You don't have to worry about waiting for an hour whenever you turn it on. Oh God.
A more elegant game for a simpler time.
It's more civilized time. Yeah,
civilized time. That's right. That's right. That was for you, Paul. That was for you.
Yeah, it was.
Appreciate that. Well, seriously, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Jack coming down this little bit of a jog down memory lane and getting us ready for what would be our next series of Fuegos.
Dorian's still going on about Echo.
No Echo, God. No. You
might be the only person I have ever met, Dorian, who actually liked that game.
I don't know if he's being serious or not.
Me either. I think that's more makes it more joyful. That I don't know
that's right.
Taking the piss the whole time.
Join us next week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please, if it is right for you, check us out over on Patreon. That's one of the ways you get to influence, the events we're talking about, the Fuegos that we do, and everything else. It's such a good time, and it's one of the ways to support the show. But always great comments, hanging out with us live. We have an amazing chat community. If you made it this far, we do this live each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Come join us and join them. We have a fun time. We'll see y'all next week, everybody. Y'all be safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.